All right, I bought this wooden boat model a couple of years ago, actually, from an outfit called the Wooden Boat Store. It's a scale model and it teaches actual boat building. And here's the plans, architectural plans. I'm about to get going on it. It's sitting in my closet for a couple of years. There's all the wood and everything. So here we go, folks. I'm going to document the whole thing. I'm working on the jib. This is the boat is going to be built on top of this, like you would build a real boat. You see, it's going to be like, so these frames, the molds they're called, I just cut them out from these architectural plans. It's just these trapezoidal shapes. And I got one more I got to do on there, and then, yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So the molds are in. The boat is going to be built around these molds. Transom is here. The bow is going to be here. It's plywood right here that I cut. It was just a plain sheet of plywood. Like this. This was like a 22-inch piece of plywood. I just cut these molds out. So I got this now, the ribs, the transom. Going to be laying planks across here for the bottom. This is your bow. Notches in there. So yeah, it's not that easy, man. Instructions are not very clear. Just kind of going along as I think it's supposed to be, but we'll see at the end. Ciao. All right, starting to put on the bottom planking with this stuff. So just glued on most of it. That's how she's looking so far. These will be trimmed along the chines. All right, that's the update so far. All right, I got the bottom done. I'm gonna now start to add the side planking. So there you go. So I got one side of the planking done. I'll take that tape off. Got a little hole in the wood here, but I'm going to patch that up with wood filler. I'm going to patch all these defects up with wood filler. And when I sand it down, you're not going to be able to see the difference. It's going to be really nice. That's the inside. Now I got to finish the planking on this side, which I'm going to do a little bit later. But as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Looking good. All right, planking is done. Got some wood filler in there. Gonna sand it down, but it's coming out pretty good, I think. Next, got to do the whole interior. That's going to be a lot of work because it's much more detailed. But anyway, I'm happy how it's coming out. Okay, I started to put in the floor planking. So that's coming out pretty cool. Just gonna finish that up. And then still a lot of work to be done, but it's coming along. Just gotta cut these planks, fit them in. The whole thing still has to be sanded and sealed with wood filler, sanded down, but it's coming along nice. All right, the inner planking is done. So now I'm going to be starting all the detail on the inside of the boat. Like trimmings, seating. It's coming out pretty nice. All right, the frames are in. Okay, we're going to be trimmed down. So the frames are in. The outer rail is in. All right. Coming along good. I got to put in the inner rail. And there's a front piece that goes here. I'm going to cut that out today. I don't know if I'll get to the inner rail. And then once that's done, I'm going to stain the inside. I got to sand it down. I'm going to stain the inside. And then I'm going to put the seats in. So it's coming along nice. So we're done putting on the inner rails. Okay, all the inner rails are on. The outer rails are on. And yeah, the inside of the boat now is ready to get stained. This will be a dark wood stain that I'm going to be putting in there, but the outside of the boat is going to be painted. But I bought some stain here, dark walnut. So I'm going to apply some of that. I'm doing that now because I'll be adding seats. There'll be a seat here, a seat here, and a seat here. And I'll paint those seats, or I'll stain those seats before I put them in. Because if I put them in now, I won't be able to get, probably won't be able to get underneath them, you know, completely. So yeah, we're ready to put the stain on. Well, unfortunately, the stain that I bought was terrible because it was way too dark, and you can't see it now, but it came out all blotchy. So I had to get some brown paint, which I painted it, but it's not finished yet. And once it's finished, I'll just cover it with a coat of varnish so it'll be shiny and clear. But I was really disappointed with the stain. I don't know, I should have tested it on a scrap piece of wood, but I didn't. I just put it right on, and it was like black, and it was all blotchy, and it looked really, really bad. But I think with the paint, the outside's going to be white, but I think with the paint, it'll look pretty good. But you know, we'll see. it's kind of disappointing that the stain didn't work out, but that was my fault. I just should have tried it on a piece of wood, but I didn't. Anyway, live and learn. All right, everybody. Well, as you can see, I repainted the interior. I'm going with the blue. The brown just wasn't doing it for me. Originally I had wanted to do a staining of the wood, and I bought this stain. It was way too dark and it came out blotchy. I bought this, and then so that was no good, and then I painted over it in brown, and I was going to go with the brown, but I just didn't like that scheme. So I'm going with the blue interior. It's going to look nice. The outside is going to be white, and I'm telling you, this is much better now. So now that the interior is painted, I'm going to start now working on the seating. I'm going to be placing the seating in there. I wanted to paint inside first before I put the seats in, because I wouldn't have been able to easily apply the paint with those seats in the boat. So that's where we are right now. I went with the blue. Still need to do a little bit of a touch-ups here and there, but it's coming along nice. All right, all the seats are in. Just got to do a little bit more detailing work. Look at my work area. It's a freaking mess. But the seats are in. The plans do not call for, in case you're wondering, they do not call for another seat right here. I mean, I could put one in, but I think I'm going to do it just according to the plans. All right, so got some detailing work to do, and then getting close to finishing this thing. Just got to paint the hull and some more detailing work, yeah. Putting the final touches on. The bottom gets a coat of brown with a little brown stripe. Just waiting for the other side to dry. We got some painter's tape. And I'm just going to stain the stand. It's looking good. All right, so I've stained the base. Looks pretty nice, but these are not taking the stain. It's a different kind of wood. I might have to paint these brown. You see, and then it would coincide with that stripe there on the bottom of the boat. But pretty much all done now. I'm just gonna start cleaning up my workspace. As you can see, it's pretty much a mess. All right, cleanup begins. And there she is, folks. Yankee tender is all done. I think it came out pretty nice. Except I got a little chip right here in the base. I'm going to fill that in with some wood filler, but the boat itself, I think she came out pretty nice. All right, it's on to the next project.